Hi, I'm Annie and welcome back to the channel. If you all don't know by now, I'm a prepper and I have been for a long time. So a project I've been working on for a while now is protein, growing my own protein. If there were no shops, we obviously can grow crops and plants which will give us greens and salads and fruits and stuff like that. But is it possible, like I say, if there was no shops, is it possible to grow our own protein? So for example, chickpeas, popping corn, black-eyed peas, all stuff we'll have in our long-term storage. Will we actually be able to plant that? So I have 13 plants here that I've been working on to see if I can produce from this. So some of it is seeds that I've collected from my own seeds. Some of it is, like I say, the store-bought stuff. And some of it is seeds that I've bought so that I can save the seeds going forward into next year and the year after. I'll go through each one and I'll try and give you a bit of information about it and how I did it. So the first one is lentils, red lentils. Last year I bought a packet of lentils because you can't do them from the shop bought ones because they're split and they've got to be whole. So I bought a packet, I think it was 36 seeds. Only 5 germinated, only 3 did anything, and I got this size pot of lentils off of them. They took a bit of processing, but let's face it, if you've not got nothing else to do and food is your priority, then you'll be grateful to see them. But anyway, I decided not to eat these. I decided to try and grow them this year. So this year I put them in, not expecting the germination to be very good like it wasn't with the seeds that I bought, and I've had good success. And there's a little video to follow to show you how I did that. This is a very quick clip, and I will show you the stage they're at now. This is my lentil seeds grown from my own saved lentils that I grew last year. I wasn't expecting a good germination rate, so I put a load in, covered it with a bit of soil. I did soak them for a couple of hours first, and within days loads started shooting up. These are 10 days old now, so I'm actually going to plant them out. And then I can always cover them with a bit of fleece if I think I'm going to get some frost, but I don't want the roots to get too interleaved, so I'm going to try and plant some out and see what happens. The second one is black-eyed peas. I've had really good results with these. So I've got 3 trays like this ready to go out. I also decided to try and germinate them indoors, and they germinated really quite simply. They got some tails on. The nice thing about doing this is that I know how to plant them. I know which way the root's coming out, so that goes downwards into the pot of soil, whereas the peas that I had there, I've had to keep an eye on them because some of them are growing the wrong way and I've had to turn them over, and they don't really like being transplanted very well. I've also got some peas in here which isn't over there. Again, you can have, I've already planted some up at home out of this tub, and there's a few in here that haven't done anything. So, but yeah, the black-eyed peas, it sort of like takes out the guesswork as to if they've germinated or not, because you can just pick out the ones that have got the roots in. A surprise one for me was monkey nuts. I googled that to see if I could grow my own peanuts this year. There was quite a few channels said that yes, I could, but they had to be the raw ones and not roasted. I've got some here. I soaked them for 24 hours and then I just tipped the water out, put the lid on and put them in a warm place but covered over dark. That's how all these pots, that's how I've done all of them. And they have got, most of them have got tails on, and they'll be ready to plant up into soil. I'm going to have a go at doing that in a minute. So let's pop these two over here for a minute. Oh. The next one I've got is huskless pumpkins. So I didn't know that you could buy pumpkins just for the seeds. So they haven't got the shell on. They are grown mainly for the seeds itself. But this is my third attempt at doing them, and they haven't come to anything. I've got a few left, so I'm going to try them in the pot to see if I can get them to germinate in the pots. But at the moment, I haven't had good success rate with those. Haricot beans. We all know the beans to do with baked beans and stuff like that. So I've had 3 goes. I've washed them, soaked them, and I've had 3 goes at germinating them. Some in soil, some not in soil in the pots here. It's not done anything. If anything, it's beginning to smell a little bit. I've washed them again to try and encourage that on. I do have a small amount of packet ones that I've bought that should germinate. So I'm hoping in the next couple of days to see some tails on them. Like I say, these are ones that I bought specially to grow. And then once I've get the seeds off of these, I can keep them for next year, because I really think that seeds that I collect myself germinate so much better than seeds that I've bought. The next one is lupins. Not all lupins are edible, but you can buy edible lupins. So you get the pretty flowers and then you get the beans on them. If you've got a peanut allergy, you probably wouldn't want to try them. That's what the warning is on them. So then I have got flaxseed, which is linseed. That has done very, very well. That's all ready to go out. Other seeds that I've just put in is amaranth and quinoa. I think that's what it is, but that's what that is. Again, they have started to sprout really quickly within a couple of days under glass. I'm going to give those a water, put them back in under the glass in a minute. They're not quite ready to do anything yet. Another interesting one was the popping corn. Can I get that to germinate? And the answer was yes. They're not all, but quite a good result. They do say that the kernels will not be as big, but they will still be edible. Got runner beans. They're not looking their best, but these are ones that I saved on the plant that grew. They grew too big, so then I carried on letting them grow for the beans, and they've germinated really well. Again, just give them a soak overnight and then plant them in, and they've done well. This one I absolutely love, chickpeas. I thought, you know, they've been in storage for such a long time. Would they sprout? So again, I soaked them for 24 hours, and then I planted them straight up, but I could have put them in the pots like this, and a lot have germinated, and now they are planted outside. We'll walk down and have a look at those in a minute. Of course, we've got mung beans. Everybody knows those in your Chinese takeaway and stuff like that. But you can, once they've sprouted, you can then plant them up, and you can have the beans off of the plant. So then it's not, you're not just getting one bean sprout or whatever, you're getting a whole plant full. So then this is a really good, you can eat it as the shoots, or you can let them grow to full size or eat them on the pods. Totally up to you, but that's a great seed packet to have at home. One plant I haven't got here actually, and that's the field bean. That's because they're all out at the moment. So let's go and have a look at what I've got growing outside. This is the field beans. As you can see, I planted these in November last year, and they've grown over the winter, and now they are starting to produce the beans. I think going to have a good crop because there's so many flowers on there. But anyway, there's quite a few there. I roped them round to give them a bit of extra support. This side here is my lentils, and this side is my chickpeas. I've sort of planted them in 2s or 3s just to give them a bit of support for themselves, and so that I know where I've planted them, because they were a little bit wispy when I put them in. They're doing really well since they've been out. There is a little bit of compost in here, but not too much. That's the other nice thing about beans, is that they are ground correctors. They put all the nitrogen back in the ground that we need for the next lot of plants. Also planted out all of my butternut squashes in here. Again, that's another long-term storage plant because they store so well over the winter. I shall put a trellis up along here and have them climbing up. So this next row is a new lot of field beans. I have direct sowed in between. But I put these ones in so I knew exactly the lines they were on. And then over the far side is my sweet corn. I've got 2 different ages, some I forced on at home and some that I planted slightly later. I've already got my runner beans out. What have I got? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 plants out here, again doing well. Peas have been out for a couple of weeks, but yeah, everything's looking good. So when it comes to soil types, beans and peas and stuff like that, they really don't mind what soil you put them in. Sometimes the less they got in, the better. I think black-eyed peas are the only one that says that they don't like too much fertilizer. Everything else, it's sort of like said, they're not too worried. So the lentils, they may need some support to lift them off the ground. They like any soil and not too much water. They're not quite drought resistant. That's another good thing about a lot of these, is they are drought tolerant. Black-eyed peas, not too much nitrogen, water well, good results in polytunnel, but they don't transplant very well. So when I do this, I shall put them in quite a loose sort of soil. I may even put them in cardboard pots so that I can just put it straight in the ground. But I mean, these have been quite hardy, to be fair. I've turned them over if the roots have been growing the wrong way. I've done stuff like that, and they've been absolutely fine. I found as long as you water well in between each one, they've been absolutely fine. But like I say, with the peanuts, I've had a few goes at doing the peanuts. The first lots, I think they started to shoot, but then the mouse had them all. The second lot didn't do anything at all, and this third lot has got tails on it, like I've shown you. So they will be planted up quite soon. And then we've got the haricot beans. I'm going to have to wait for them, for a little tail to come out, and then I shall plant them up. Lupins, I soaked germination rate hasn't been great on those, so I probably should have soaked them in these pots, and in future that's the way I shall do all my peas and beans and sweet corns and stuff like that. It just takes the guesswork out of whether they're actually going to germinate or not. The chickpeas at the end, free draining soil, drought resistant, wear gloves when harvesting. Sweet corn and popping corn, they like lots of manure. They're quite a hungry plant. That's one of the only ones that I've seen that does like that. The flaxseed or the linseed, they come up with blue flowers. So March to April, you'd get away with it a little bit later. Harvest once the seed heads are brown. Amaranths, fast growing when once they're past the seedling phase. They don't give many leaves, but the leaves are edible like spinach, and obviously they grow to about 3 foot tall, and they have a very high seed yield, which is obviously protein. I'll be doing updates how these are growing along the way, but I wanted to get this video out, so if you wanted to do some, it's not too late. Quineu, or whatever it's called, they are quite a tall plant, 6 foot. They'll have to go somewhere where they're not going to shade out the smaller bushy plants. Field beans, I'll have 2 different times of harvest, hopefully not too long, month or 6 weeks before they're ready. But that is the way I will do my field beans in future, is I will plant them up in November and just try and get the early crop, and then it will free up space for my next, for my summer crops. I hope I've edited this video so that it all makes sense. It didn't necessarily make sense to me when I was filming it, but hopefully I can piece it together, and so that everybody can understand it and maybe get planting. So that's the end of the video. My conclusion is hopefully I can provide myself with protein and stuff like that from shop bought crops and my long-term stored food that will then feed me into that hunger period, but also give me protein all through the year. The nice thing about these is you can eat them as dry, grow them, or just shoot them and then eat the shoots, even like the mung beans and things like that. You can, and it's given you that very quick, instant, fresh food. I hope you found this video helpful and informative, and it's taken some of the guesswork out as to whether these will or won't grow. The verdict is still out on the haricot beans. I'm really hoping that I can get something from them. I will keep trying to try different methods of shooting them or getting them to germinate. And obviously I've got these little ones that I've bought, seedlings or seeds, so hopefully I can get those to germinate, grow those beans on, and then get some for next year. The same as the mung beans, I'm actually going to try and grow the actual bean plant so I can store those beans off of it. If you did like the video, please give it an old thumbs up, like, share, hype, all that. It really does help the channel. Thank you everybody for your continued support. It's really been amazing. Till next time, bye.